If Ferrari fails to deliver in 2026, Charles Leclerc might do something once unthinkable: look for a way out. The warning didn't come from rumors or anonymous sources, it came directly from his manager, Nicolas Todt. He said it plainly: Leclerc isn't a kid anymore and needs a car capable of fighting for a world title. In a Formula One world preparing for a new era, those words changed everything. Now the question is, can Ferrari rise to the challenge, or are we headed for a driver market earthquake? Since joining Ferrari, Leclerc has carried the hopes of millions. His early years were electric: pole positions, victories, and even a championship fight in 2022. But 7 seasons later, he's still chasing that elusive crown. In 2025, frustration has reached a boiling point. Tense radio messages, sharp comments, and his post-Singapore confession that said it all: we don't have the car to fight those in front. According to Leclerc, McLaren has kept the gap. Red Bull took a step forward after Monza, Mercedes caught up, and Ferrari stayed behind. When a driver starts saying he feels like a passenger in the car, the alarm lights in Maranello turn red. That's why Nicolas Todt's recent words hit so hard. He called Leclerc one of the most talented drivers of his generation, alongside Verstappen, but made it clear that talent means nothing without a winning car. Translation: if Ferrari doesn't deliver a true title contender for 2026, Leclerc might consider leaving, and that's not an empty threat. The upcoming regulation changes will reshape F1 from top to bottom: new chassis, new hybrid systems, and a clean slate for everyone. Whoever gets it right first could dominate for years. Leclerc's contract renewal in early 2024 was announced as multi-year, but it reportedly includes escape clauses on both sides. That means flexibility and pressure. As Todt said, many drivers will wait to see which teams are competitive before deciding their futures. The same goes for Leclerc. His situation mirrors Max Verstappen's approach: staying with Red Bull through 2025, watching how the new era unfolds, and keeping options open. Leclerc may take a similar path: remain loyal if Ferrari delivers, or look elsewhere if history repeats itself. For Ferrari, that's a nightmare scenario. 2026 isn't just another season, it's a do-or-die moment. Before we continue, if you love smart, real F1 analysis without the gossip, hit subscribe to Formula News USA. Your support means everything for independent creators like us. Leave a like, drop a comment telling us which city you're watching from. That helps the algorithm show this video to more F1 fans. And don't forget to share it with your racing buddies. Charles Leclerc knows Ferrari's problem runs much deeper than a lack of wins. His tone has grown heavier with each passing race, frustration mixed with déjà vu. The Monegasque driver keeps saying the same thing: Ferrari hasn't made progress. While McLaren, Red Bull, and even Mercedes have moved forward, the Scuderia is stuck. And the numbers prove him right. Despite several upgrades throughout the year, Ferrari's deficit to the leaders hasn't shrunk in any meaningful way. After the Singapore Grand Prix, Leclerc's comments became even more telling: there's nothing special coming for the rest of the year. It sounded like a verdict. The team that aimed to end its championship drought now faces the humiliating prospect of finishing winless under Fred Vasseur. Worse, Leclerc already seems worried about 2026, the year that will reset everything. I really hope we start 26 on the right foot, because if not, it's going to be a tough couple of years, he said. It wasn't just a quote, it was a warning. Leclerc's frustration isn't just about speed, it's about history repeating itself. He's lived this before. Back in 2019, Ferrari had an extremely powerful engine, but an investigation from the FIA ended with a secret deal that crippled the team for years. They sacrificed 2020 and 2021 to focus on the all-new regulations coming in 2022. And yes, 2022 started well. Ferrari won races, and Leclerc looked like a true title contender. But then came the same old story: strategy errors, technical mistakes, and a fading development curve. Since then, it's been a cycle of hope and heartbreak. In 2023, the car was fast but unpredictable. In 2024, Ferrari nearly won the Constructors' Championship, but paid the price for rushed upgrades. And now, in 2025, Leclerc finds himself asking the same painful question: where's the progress? The real concern is Ferrari's decision to stop developing this year's car early to focus on 2026. On paper, that makes sense. McLaren already locked up the title, and Ferrari's not in the fight. But if they're using the same tools and processes that failed them in 2025, then they're building failure into the next era. That's what keeps Leclerc up at night. He's still loyal, but not blindly. When he says, "I hope we start 26 right," it's more than wishful thinking. It's a warning shot to Maranello. If the team misses again, he'll start looking elsewhere. Remember, his dream has always been to win a world title with Ferrari, but dreams have limits. Watching that dream slip away season after season is taking a toll. His contract might officially run through 2029, but insiders say it includes multiple performance clauses. If Ferrari doesn't deliver, he can walk. That kind of flexibility is standard in modern F1. Loyalty lasts only as long as the results. Meanwhile, Ferrari's issues go far beyond the drivers. The car has been unreliable, inconsistent, and overly sensitive to conditions. Strategy blunders, tire degradation, and poor race execution have cost valuable points. In Singapore, a braking issue forced both Leclerc and Hamilton to manage temperatures all race long, according to Vasseur. When Hamilton tried to push, his front brake failed. That sums it up. Ferrari's speed is real, but fragile. Leclerc has tried everything to compensate. He's taken wild setup gambles, pushing the limits of the car to its breaking point. In Singapore, he admitted to making a bit of a stupid choice with a drastic front wing adjustment. It's the image of a driver fighting with all he has, but chained to a car that won't respond. And here's the truth, the problem isn't Leclerc. Even with the chaos, he's been the more consistent performer compared to Hamilton. Yes, Hamilton gave Ferrari their lone highlight with a sprint win in China, but Leclerc has been the team's rock all year. Still, consistency means little when the car can't keep up. So the big question remains, how long can a driver like Leclerc keep waiting? Ferrari has lost champions before. Prost, Alonso, Vettel, all left after losing faith in the system. If 2026 starts poorly, Leclerc might be next. And this time, Ferrari wouldn't just lose a driver, it would lose its last symbol of belief. While Ferrari wrestles with frustration, McLaren finds itself in a different kind of storm, the one that comes with success. The Papaya team just secured back-to-back Constructors' Championships, confirming it's the class of the field. But inside the garage, tensions are boiling. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are no longer just teammates, they're rivals fighting for the same crown. Former Haas boss Gunther Steiner put it bluntly, if McLaren wants to win the Drivers' Championship, they have to pick one driver. And right now, that driver is Oscar Piastri. The Australian leads Norris by 22 points with 6 rounds to go. That may not sound like much, but in a title fight this close, and with Max Verstappen charging back, every point matters. Steiner's words were harsh but realistic. If you let them fight and lose the championship, you'll end up with 2 unhappy drivers. If you choose one, only one will be mad. The clash between McLaren's Golden Boys reached its peak in Singapore, when the pair made contact on the opening lap. Piastri was furious, accusing the team of inconsistency. McLaren rules change every weekend, he said. Norris held on for 3rd place, while Piastri finished 4th, but the fallout was immediate. Zach Brown and team principal Andrea Stella had to cool tempers and reassure everyone that the team remains neutral. But few in the paddock believe that neutrality can last. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is quietly hunting. After a shaky start to the season, Red Bull and the RB21 are back in business. Verstappen has found form again, winning in Monza and Baku and finishing on the podium in Zandvoort and Singapore. He's now just 63 points behind Piastri, and if there's anyone capable of erasing that gap, it's Max Verstappen. Andrea Stella knows it. Red Bull is back in the fight, and Max is Max. There's nothing else to say, he admitted. McLaren may have the best car, but if it loses focus or unity, Verstappen will pounce. Stella has tried to keep perspective. During McLaren's celebration at its technology center, he praised the team, the drivers, and even their families for enduring the sacrifice and intensity of F1 life. But amid the party, he dropped a warning. Our biggest challenge is still ahead. The 2026 rule change will be like climbing Everest, and we'll face it together. Translation: McLaren knows its current dominance means nothing if it can't adapt to what's coming next. On track, Piastri has been brilliant, fast, disciplined, and increasingly mature. He's calm under pressure and methodical in execution, earning comparisons to Verstappen's early championship years. Norris, in contrast, remains one of the purest natural talents on the grid, lightning fast in qualifying, but still prone to errors when the pressure spikes. Their rivalry has shades of Senna-Prost, respectful on the surface, but with tension bubbling underneath. Former driver Ralf Schumacher, speaking to Sky Germany, warned of what could come. "I just hope it doesn't end with a collision. I have a feeling that's coming soon. And if it happens while Max is winning, it'll be a disaster." He added that if Verstappen keeps closing the gap, McLaren may be forced to intervene. Otherwise, they could lose the title they've worked 2 years to dominate. What makes this even more dangerous for McLaren is Red Bull's resurgence. The RB21's biggest weakness, high downforce tracks, seems to be fixed. Singapore was the proof. Red Bull was fast all weekend on a track that used to expose its flaws. The upgrades worked, and Verstappen made the most of it. Even former Ferrari boss Luca Di Montezemolo joined the chorus of praise. Speaking recently, he declared, "For me, Verstappen is by far the number one. He never loses control, he doesn't make mistakes, and he's always fast." Coming from the man who once led Ferrari's golden era, that statement carries weight. Now the 2025 season's final act is shaping into a thriller. McLaren's internal rivalry is reaching its breaking point. Verstappen is lurking, faster every weekend. And Ferrari? They're watching from the sidelines, praying for 2026 to be their restart button. What once seemed impossible has now become reality. Red Bull is back. The RB21, which started the season unbalanced and unpredictable, has evolved into a weapon again. Wins in Monza and Baku, plus podiums in Zandvoort and Singapore, have reminded the world that this team never really forgets how to win. And at the center of it all, as always, is Max Verstappen, hungrier than ever. McLaren boss Andrea Stella admitted what everyone in the paddock is thinking. "We thought Red Bull would only be strong on low downforce tracks, but in Singapore, they were fast everywhere. It's clear they fixed their weaknesses." When a rival says that, you know something big has changed. The architect of this rebirth is Laurent Mekies, Red Bull's new team principal. Since taking over after Christian Horner's departure, the French engineer has brought a fresh philosophy, one rooted in teamwork and technical precision. The updates have been subtle but transformative. A new floor in Monza, a redesigned front wing in Singapore, and small suspension tweaks that broadened the car's performance window. Verstappen summed it up perfectly. "It's not just about the new floor, it's a whole new approach. We start weekends with a solid baseline now, no more chasing setups." McKee's leadership style has reshaped the team's culture. He's open, collaborative, and trusts his engineers to experiment. Helmut Marko praised him for asking the right questions and helping reconnect the drivers with the technical group. Verstappen echoed that sentiment. "Laurent understands what we need. He's an engineer at heart and a great communicator." The result? Red Bull feels stable again and dangerous. But here's the real twist. This isn't just about winning now. Mekies is using 2025 as a live testing ground for 2026. "It's crucial we validate everything on this year's car so we're ready for the new regulations," he said. That's exactly what Ferrari tried but failed to do. Red Bull, on the other hand, is mastering the art of evolving while still winning. This strategic clarity is what separates them. Mekies didn't reinvent the wheel, he refined it. The team fixed its simulation tools, rebuilt trust in data correlation, and regained confidence in its development direction. No magic bullet, no desperation, just precision. And that's why Red Bull looks like the early favorite for the next era of Formula One. And with Max Verstappen behind the wheel, that advantage doubles. Former Ferrari boss Luca Di Montezemolo didn't mince words. "Verstappen is by far the best driver in the world. He never makes mistakes, stays calm, and always extracts everything." That's the level of consistency that wins eras, not just seasons. McLaren, meanwhile, knows it's walking a tightrope. The car is brilliant, but team unity is fragile. If Piastri and Norris collide again, literally or politically, Verstappen will be there to take the crown. Ferrari, on the other hand, faces its biggest test yet. Leclerc's patience is thinning, and 2026 could decide whether he stays or walks from the team he once dreamed of saving. The stage is set for one of the most fascinating transitions in F1 history. McLaren is the current king, but knows the climb ahead will be steep. Red Bull is resurging, Ferrari is desperate, and the rest of the grid is watching closely. The new regulations will reshuffle everything, but talent, ambition, and adaptability will still rule Formula One. And now, the big question: where do you stand? Are you rooting for Ferrari's redemption, McLaren's young guns, or Red Bull's unstoppable comeback? Let me know in the comments. Tell us which city you're watching from so we can see how far our F1 community reaches. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the real stories shaping Formula One, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Formula News USA, and leave a comment. Your engagement helps this channel grow, and since we're not monetized, your subscription is what truly keeps us going. So hit that subscribe button and help us bring more authentic F1 content straight to you.